back to Tales from Grandpa's Rocking Chair. This is just a video response to all of the videos I've seen today that have to do with some leftist columnist who wrote about the Rosary being tied up with the alt-right or the right or extremism or whatever. And I'm not the kind of guy that likes to normally jump on and hit the alarm button or anything like that, because we've seen this before already, at least here in Canada. These attempts, these ways of using the media to try and vilify Catholicism, being able or being allowed to commit sacrilege in churches. Basically, the law does nothing, for this kind of stuff. It's I guess some people think of it as a growing concern. Well, I look at it as a culmination in the battle that is going to result in the triumph of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. It's just that simple. And I guess I wish I could share with you what I've seen over the last 22 years. Watching the news, watching different things happen. Remember Y2K? And that was going to be the thing that shut down the world, right? The year 2000. It was about then that I started paying attention to things that were going on in the world. The Catholicism in the 90s. I guess I got a chicken that's trapped in a shed over here. Catholicism in the 90s was dead. There was nothing. This is hard to perceive, I think, maybe if you were in the mainstream church or have just recently become traditional within, say, the last 5-10 years, something like that. That there was a slow growth of traditionalism. There was mainstream Catholicism was dead. I remember at the time, maybe slightly before that I was on the fence between the Novus Ordo and the traditional Latin Mass. And I'd met a friend in a new town that I moved to at the local church there, the local Catholic church there. Became pretty good friends there. And one time I went to meet him at the church, and I guess he wasn't there yet. And I accidentally walked into one of these parish council meetings. And they invited me in. They were very kind. Sat me down, being that I was young at the time. I was probably in my 20s. And, gave me a 7-Up. And they started talking about ways they could bring the youth back into the church. And I just sat there and listened for a while. And I remember at one point they came to me and they said, "So what do you think would be good to bring the youth back into the church?" And I said something like, maybe if parents started saying the Rosary with their children, maybe if the parish church encouraged the Rosary at public level for the parishioners, or perhaps if the Rosary was even allowed to flourish more than it was, that would bring the youth back. And that whole council turned on me in a flash, except for the priest. The priest was an old-timer, and he sat there quietly and he nodded to everything I said. But he was also a browbeat. And when these cackling hens, and I say most of them were hens in this parish council group, "That's an old-fashioned way of thinking. We've eliminated that kind of thinking in this parish." Yeah, you've eliminated that kind of thinking in that parish. How many parishes across Canada, across North America, did the Rosary get eliminated or put into the back 40 as a thing you fall back on in the most dire of circumstances? Or perhaps not even mentioned at all. Maybe, just, "Oh, you got some for sale in the bookstore in the corner closet there behind the secretary's desk," or something like that. But that's it. There's no promotion of it. There's no Rosary. And so now, when people are rediscovering it, and I might say mostly the youth, I think I was right when I said that to the parish council. Now the left has come out and is trying to is trying to make it look like it's a symbol of hate. Okay, I guess that's what they're trying to do with it. They're trying to tie it up with guns. They're trying to tie it up with everything that would be an extremism, a symbol of extremism, a symbol of anything against LGBTQ, LMNOP, anything against pro-death, or any of their agendas. Of course, we refer to it as a battle against Satan, a prime weapon, the primary weapon in our battle against Satan. Why would they be offended by that? Why? Unless their master is Satan too. You see, I believe that we are at the height of the battle right now. And again, I want to say, I wish you could see through my eyes from the last 22 years how much things have grown, how much things have taken off. And I want this to be a message that is very clear, as a message of inspiration and hope, that what may seem like something that is terrible or something that you're going to have to face as a persecution is nothing. It's too little and it's too late at this point. The amount of youth that are finding their way back to Mass, that are finding their way back to the Rosary and finding their way back to tradition is astounding. It's growing at a rate that in the last 22 years I've never ever seen before in my life. And this isn't going to stop. This is the physical manifestation, a foreshadowing, if you will, of the eventual triumph of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. And you can count on that. This is nothing to be scared of. This is just it's a death throw from the left at this point. It's nothing. They can't do anything, right? More people are going to just look at that and say, this is a bunch of crap. We've known about the Rosary for years. It's never been associated with anything hateful or anything like that. It doesn't matter how they spin it now. It's too late. There's too many people jumping on board. There's too many people that are realizing that this is a dividing line, that the line has been drawn in the sand, and that they've made their choice. So have no fear. This is just another way that Our Lady is showing us that she's going to kick butt. Catholic Northman, out.